Thank you for staying with us. Let's switch gears now and take the section of the gains of presidents to China and the deliverables. Take a look at the highlights of the agreement and some of the tangible things that we could say are coming out of that bilateral meetings. The first there is signed deals for projects and investment said to be in excess of $6 billion. And we also know that $2.5 billion Lagos Metro Railway project was part of what was discussed, and also a 300 megawatt solar power project and solid minerals sector granite mining plant to be established in the country, and also a $1 billion on Abuja-Ibadan Lagos Expressway, and also a $25 million deal to build 27-story high-rise complexes in different parts of the country, and also the currency swap deal. Interesting. Mr. Oyalo, largely, a lot of people will think this new alliance with China, will it work?
China is the second largest economy in the world with $8,000 per capita income. So, yes. And you know they have been trying to come into Africa to get a foothold. And I must tell you one thing, this currency swap, so many other countries were rushing into doing it. Fortunately, we are the first to do it. And as if that is not good enough, Nigeria has now become the head office or wherever, I mean, how do you call it now? The hub for yuan in Africa. So it will become the clearing house of yuan in Africa. If you want yuan anywhere in Africa, you have to come to Nigeria.
That's what it's looking like.
That is what it is. It has been signed.
Could we have done better in those agreements?
There's no way you could have done better. All the ones that were signed in the past were messed up. That is why the president had to personally go this time and let them understand that things have changed. There is a new captain on the ship. And I can give you my personal word. I mean, I read the BRF, that's Babatunde Fashola, the Minister of Power, Housing and Works, his takeaways. And it was like the president, I mean the prime minister, is the prime minister of China said something very key. Said, anything you want, come and ask us. We will be glad to do it. That means they have seen the personal integrity of the man, and it tells us one good thing, that wherever we walk into today, Nigeria will be respected.
Skeptical about the open arms?
Anything in what you will be skeptical, but the honest truth is this. If we keep to our own agreement, we keep to our own side, and we watch very well, because
can China be wholly trusted in all of this?
Nobody can be trusted in this world. You can only hope that what you do, you will do the right thing for your people. And I can always tell you, I can tell you one thing is this. Where problem will always come up is when personal interest overrule, I mean national interest. If this government continue in the path of let national interest overrule, I can assure you we have a great deal.
Mr. Arozulike, since that the agreement was signed, especially about the currency swap deal, we saw the dollar fall to about 310 on the parallel market. Is it coincident that this is happening, or it's tangible? Really, it's something that we should be glad that the dollar may fall continually in this line.
I wouldn't want to say on this part that it was coincidental. It definitely, there was a visit to China, which a lot of agreements were signed, so it could have had effect on the dollar. And clearly, anything that has effects on the naira to make it appreciate against the dollar is welcome. But where the issues arise will be how sustainable will those be? Because if you look at the way these issues are going, like you asked, should we trust China, and why are they opening their arms and say whatever you need, we should just come and ask? There's nothing free even in Freetown, we all know. And the way it is now, the question one will ask is, if you look at the way we are opening our doors to China and put it side by side with growing local content and local production, one would be worried. Because I'm an Igbo man, I know the thinking of my people, let me claim that. By the time you've thrown open our economy to the Chinese like that, Nigeria, don't you think Nigeria will be a dumping ground for every Chinese thing? Because the man who wants to go and import these things will no longer need to go and look for dollar. He goes straight to China, there is yuan here, he pays straight, and the thing comes down here straight. It doesn't go through the dollar and all those things. And if it is not well managed, it could make Nigeria a dumping ground. It could get the Chinese to take over our economy, and that is exactly the way it is, because we are now, they have overwhelmed us actually with their generosity. And we are in a
could we
particular
have
mood, and
asked,
that mood is the mood of thank you, sir.
Could,
when somebody
Mr.
has overwhelmed you with generosity,
could we have asked,
thank you,
just if I may hop in here, sorry, could we have asked for a better deal from China, and what could that be?
Growing our local content. How can the Chinese help us to grow our local content? It's not about Chinese. The investments are Chinese investments. The Lagos Metro line now, you will see it's the Chinese that will come and do it. The solar plant is the Chinese that will come and do it. What we're saying is, what is the local content? If they can come out and tell Nigerians, oh, in all these things we have brought, the Chinese are making investment. An investor is a businessman who intends to make profit. So if the Chinese are making investments in Nigeria and will derive benefit from those investments, truly, but the question is, what is the local content involved, which is what is sustainable.
It appears Mr. Yalo has some ideas about what exactly are some of the details that we do not know?
The government did not go to sign, let us import from China. The government signed investment opportunity. That is why you see businessmen went with him. Deals were signed so that there will be proper investment, not dumping ground like he wrongly said. Remember that there is a man that have always been interested in his business, the owner of Erisco Food. He was on that trip. This is a man who has been interested, who's been doing it. Now he's going to get more help to expand his business in the tomato paste business. Dangote was there, another businessmen too were there. So what we are looking at is not a dumping ground. We're looking at China coming in. Most of the deals were our counterpart deals. Nigerians will be Nigeria will be putting down money, they will be putting part of it. There will be technological transfer. So it is not the way he looked at it. From what I'm seeing, and from what was signed, and from what I know, I am seeing a situation where, look at the World Bank already. They're already worried. That is the Bretton Woods people, the Americans are already worried. Because what China wanted is to be able to flex its muscles in Africa. And we are best to do it than the biggest country in Africa. This is a template. They cannot get it wrong because they want to spread to other parts of Africa. Getting it wrong will mean other people will run away. So China knows
the Chinese themselves have not had it smooth in their economy in the last 1 year or so.
Well, they have not that they have not had it smooth. You see, it depends on who you are listening to.
No.
Recently, I was reading something.
On the table is that
I was reading something recently, and I realized that suddenly Shanghai has more billionaires than New York. So you can read anything you want to read, depending on who you want to listen to. The World Bank already said our economy is gloomy because we didn't come to America, because we didn't borrow from the IMF. So from what I'm seeing the fact that there are going to be two people competing for your attention and you become the beautiful bride. And Nigeria is the beautiful bride in this.
A lot of people have criticized that President Buhari does not really have that economic direction, a sharp one that will gladden the heart of a lot of Nigerians. But with what we saw, the deliverables from China, does it look like we're on the right footing in this sense?
Well, I will commend Mr. President for what has happened in China so far and what we encourage Nigerians to do, especially those who are supporting him ardently like Ayo with you there, is that when they see things that are not going right, they should be bold enough to say those things are not right. Because the way they are making the president look like, they ascribe infallibility to this president, and it's unfortunate that they are taking that direction. Ascribing infallibility to him is going to make him make very, very grievous mistakes, and it is not good for our economy.
Thank you so much.
So far, yes, we can appreciate those ones. But when you look at the situation in all its ramifications, he says, this president I know has the interest of Nigerians at heart. For every other person, I don't know. But the president cannot do it all alone. He must work with those people Ayo cannot vouch for. The team he's working with, the cabinet he's working with, the cabinet he selected himself.
Thank you so much. Just as we scrolled on the last, just in 30 seconds, Nigerians are expectant. it's going to be 1 year in another few weeks.
Nigerians didn't vote for President Buhari for 1 year. They voted for him for 4 years.
So we should not be expecting anything in 1 year.
I didn't say don't expect anything. You already saw what we're talking about the Chinese investment and all the plans. I mean, we didn't have a proper foundation to build on. Now the foundations are being laid. We can't rush things. If we begin to rush and rush and rush, we've rushed so many things, and that is why we are where we are today. We are having 4,000, 5,000 megawatts, and we celebrate it.
We have to go.
For me, it is beyond 1 year celebration. It is a whole 4 years plan.
All right. Well, Nigerians are expectant and are waiting to see the deliverables and the tangible things, especially food on their table. Jobs have been lost.
There will be food.
Thank you so much, Ayo Yalawa, for talking to
much,
us. Deputy Director of the Buhari Presidential Campaign Organization, and Tochukwu Orazuluike, a member of Lawyers in Defense of Democracy. Many thanks for coming on the program. Well, thank you also for being such a great company on the program. I'm sure Wakimbale. Till next time. Bye for now.